Hello there, welcome back. Thanks for joining me here. Today's lesson we're going to see how to speak fluently in English. English is always being a foreign language for most of the non-native speaker, and even a language of reception for most of the native speakers as well. Finds more hard to talk to people to make the speaking more confident enough and fluently when it comes to a question of situation or a circumstance where they actually want to do it well. So to actually have a clear cut of fluency and to increase the efficiency, people has to jot down few points and to practice them in a way to perform and to implement the language more fluently. So the first thing is being confident. Confidence acts as a primary factor for any action which you wanted to actually cover, be it English or be it to anything you wanted to achieve. So something doesn't happen all of a sudden as a miracle. So things has to be taken into account as a matter of fact. It has to be gone through different set of experience. It has to go through different set of practice and implementations in order to understand a language and to implement them and to follow them appropriately at the appropriate time and the appropriate moment. So the confidence acts as an important factor here that actually enables you to showcase yourself of what you have. Even if you have a sky amount of skills and potentials in order to establish your efficiency, if you lack in confidence, you wouldn't be able to achieve it. You wouldn't be able to perform in front of an audience, in front of other people, in front of others as well. So confidence acts as a primary factor here, and so be confident. Practice to be confident. The thing which actually causes the lessening in your confidence is primarily because of not having an efficient language. In order to increase that, you have to go with the active listening. Active listening does the process, but active listening, what does it mean? Actually being active to things you hear, anything which comes across your ear, just keep your ears open, sorry for that, keep your ears open so that you keep on listening to things which you come across on a daily basis, be it anything, be it a single point or a sentence or a formation or a presentation or a book or a word or anywhere you see English. Just grasp it, understand it, try to implement it, try to repeat it, try to practice it again. So just use to hear those things again and again and again, so that in that way you'll get used to your routine lifestyle words and the words which you come across on a daily basis that happens to be in your real-time life atmosphere, and mirror them. Mirror as in the physical mirror as well. Just stand in front of the mirror, try speaking the word which you heard, like how the actual pronunciation has to be. So without a proper pronunciation, a fluency cannot be achieved. Fluency is something related to the language which has to be appropriately pronounced and which has to be appropriately stressed with the clauses and the syllables. Everything has to be considered here. So unless you pronounce it appropriately, you wouldn't be able to achieve that fluency again. So mirror, stand in front of a mirror, just talk to yourself. Talk how you heard the word, talk how it has to be pronounced, talk how you want it to pronounce. Do not have an influence of your mother tongue. Do not try to implement any word in specific to the stresses and pauses which comes in your regional or your mother tongue. So try to use them as how an actual word has to be used. So mirror it. So in that way you will try to rectify the issues. You will try to understand how you actually pronounce it, how you actually resemble in front of someone else. Let that be the audience to whom you are actually making the conversation, to whom you are interacting, who are listening to you and who are watching you, how you pronounce it. So understand how you pronounce them using a mirror and try to correct them appropriately in a way so that you'll achieve that perfection. So unless a perfection is achieved in the pronunciation, again the fluency is not good. It's directly proportionate to the fluency as well. Forget the grammar. Yeah, that's quite weird here. I understand. So yes, but forget it. It's all about communication. doesn't matter if it has to be an appropriate grammatically correct sentence or grammatically appropriate, where it has to be made with proper utilizations of all those articles, prepositions, and sentences. Just ignore them. Keep them out of your mind for now. So, in order to achieve the fluency, do not consider about the grammar. Just try to communicate whatever comes to your mind. You have to transmit the entire thoughts and the ideology and ideas which immediately stuck to your mind in order to achieve that fluency. In order to give that, you have to completely skip this grammar. Do not consider them. Just try to explain whatever comes to your mind. You have to communicate. That's the purpose here. It's not about the perfection. Again, it's about communication. That matters a lot. That's the primary considerations here. And then practice it. Practice makes perfect. Unless you practice it, you wouldn't be able to achieve the perfection. So it has to be done on a deliberate basis. It has to be done on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, it's directly proportional to how much ever the effort you put in. So you have to practice them on a daily basis, whenever it is possible, and how much ever time you actually can spend on it. It is not in specific to a training session or somewhere where you can actually sit idle and do the practice. It can done on your along with the other stuffs as well, along with the other work which you does on a as your mandatory things which you do while traveling, while watching movies, or while spending your own time in reading books. It can be any moment, wherever you find time. Keep on doing these practice, like listening and again practicing them. Forget the grammar. Try to form your sentence. Try to actually pronounce them in a way it has to be pronounced. In that way, you'll definitely gonna achieve that confidence level. So obviously, though these points are separately mentioned, they are quietly interlinked and closely knit together, so that a confidence brings you to practice, and the practice makes you to correct your grammar. Or if you forget to do that, again that will brings you makes you as an active listener in order to understand how it has to be, and mirroring yourself brings that perfection. So these are the few points which I myself have gone through, and these are actually being put across by various researchers in order to achieve the pronunciation they wanted to. So I believe this would have helped you. Try to practice them. Practice makes perfection, as I already said. So try to practice them, implement them in your daily lifestyle. You'll definitely gonna see the difference. All the best. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to share any comments, please mention them on my comment section. I'll be actively listening for whatever you say in my comments. Share this video, subscribe to my channel for updates on the new video. Thank you. Bye-bye.